What's up, guys? Here with this, I don't even know what to call it. Boy, it's so complicated. Hard to keep track of the names of this thing. Gakken, Legioss, Robotech, Alpha Fighter, Lancer, something. I don't even know. To be honest, I didn't really watch the cartoons when I was a kid. Somehow I missed them. I loved Transformers, though. Watched that all the time. Around 1985, 1986. I think in 1986 or so, I got this guy for Christmas, though, and I loved it. This was like my favorite toy of the 80s, hands down. Jetfire back there, loved him too, but I broke him. I got him in 85, got Jetfire in 85 when I turned 10, and I broke him like 5 minutes after I had him, and my dad wouldn't let me return him and exchange him. So anyway, didn't get a new Jetfire until just a few years back. But this guy, I got him around 86 or 87 and just loved him. That was my favorite toy ever. Eventually, my cousins broke him, and I was so sad. Always wanted another one, and finally, a few years back, I found one on eBay. Actually, to be honest, I think my wife found it. She's pretty awesome. And anyway, I got this guy off eBay, and he was almost basically like new, still in the box, hadn't had the stickers applied or anything, and I could have just left him in the box and kept him as, like an investment or something, but I'm not into that, really. I wanted to make this guy like the ultimate, like what I envisioned him as, in my memory as a kid. He was super awesome and detailed, and basically I wanted him to fulfill that, that nostalgia that I had for him as a kid. So what I did was I applied all the decals that he came with very carefully, and on top of that I added some extra decals and details, a little bit of paint, panel lining, stuff like that. So just thought I know there's a few videos of this guy on YouTube, and I appreciate those guys' videos. They're pretty cool. Some of them show how to transform him, and I'm not sure I've made up my mind if I'm going to transform this guy. As some other YouTubers have mentioned, this guy's 37 years old, give or take, and plastic that gets that old can get a little brittle. So, got to be careful with these guys. Maybe I'll transform him. I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned. For now, I'm going to show a little bit of the, what this guy can look like if you do have all the decals on him, and with a little extra, a little bonus. So let's see. First off, mine did come with the little pilot guy. Is his name Lance or Lancer? I don't even know. Like I said, I didn't really watch the cartoon. But when you first get this guy, he's just this flat gray. He's not painted or anything. So they kind of, my understanding is they kind of left that up to you, as a kid. You can paint him how you want. So I did. I don't know what he looked like in the cartoon or anything, really, so I'm sure he doesn't look like exactly like this. I just took it in my head that I was going to paint him up to kind of color-wise match the scheme of the actual robot that he was piloting. This is what I came up with for this little guy. Add a little panel lining, green and tan. Nothing too crazy. This also, I don't know if you guys remember. So this big one, I think he's like 132 scale or 135 scale, something like that. And then they also sold the smaller version. This here is the smaller version, which I also kind of did some custom panel lining and a little bit of painting and gave some extra details too. And then I made this little flight stand for him, just out of a piece of wood and some wire. So a little mini version of his jet mode there, I suppose you'd say. Oh, let me set this light down. And sorry, I'm not working with the best camera here, so it might jiggle a little bit. Bring him in a little closer if I can. I'm going to try and be careful with him. Like I said, he's a little fragile. So here he is with all his little decals applied. And I did my best to follow instructions and to research things online to find out where all the decals actually went, trying to get them right. Again, I apologize if my camera's not the best. But I panel lined everything that I could think of. And this was back in the... I can't remember how long ago I got this guy off eBay. Maybe 10, might have been close to 10 years. So at the time, I didn't know a whole lot about panel lining and stuff, and I didn't have the proper pens, but I did the best with what I had. I actually had to use paint for some of the panel lining. You know, filling in spots like that, that's actually paint. And filling that in with paint. Like on the arm. Oh, and so originally I think he doesn't have anything right here, it's just bare. But when I was a kid, I put that sticker there, and so I'm like, I'm putting that there. And it's supposed to go on the wing, so actually for the wing I just cut these numbers out of tape actually and put it on there just so we'd have those on there. Some of the stuff that I added was like his eye originally, that's just flat green, there's no paint in there. Gave him a red eye with the black background. Same thing was with his thrusters, or whatever you want to call those. Painted them black and gave him some kind of color in there. Put a little bit of that blue on his little shoulder mounted thing, just to tie in with the blue of the little pilot guy. Added the tape there, the red, added the black stripe and whatnot. So nothing too crazy, but I think, to me, I like it. I think it still holds up visually as a toy. I have him in a display case, kind of next to my Masterpiece Transformers and such, and I think he holds up pretty good. Yeah, maybe I'll transform him. Let's transform him into the jet mode. I think I'm going to pause and we'll cut to that. Fingers crossed that he doesn't break. And here we go. Transformed him and he did not break. Yes, thank you. So here it is, his jet fighter mode. Doesn't look too bad. One of the hard things about this particular figure is getting these things to actually go straight and remain even. It's always really tricky. As soon as I start handling this thing, they're probably going to go wonky. But that's just kind of one of the quirks of this particular figure. So, as you can see, like I said, got a little bit of panel lining. Originally, this gun, I feel like it should mount there. It really doesn't, so I just put some sticky tack, and just stick it on there. Just because I feel like that's the way it should go. Let me see if I can get this cockpit open here. So, oh, this is so tricky. Please don't break. Okay. So you can see, I went ahead and painted the little pilot guy in there to match the other one. And I don't know if you push this all the way up, it might lock open, but I'm afraid to push it up all the way. So I'm just going to close that again. One of the fun things about these old toys, it's the same for this and for Jetfire, is I loved the metal spring-loaded landing gear. You can feel that spring. It just works so good. And I remember as a kid popping these open, and they smack you right in the finger. Wham! But they work so good. 37 years later, they still work. You see, yeah, these things, oh, they're not too bad. They're fairly lined up, but yeah, they tend to go all wonky. soon as you mess with them. Here's with the gun. There, well, that's a little crazy. There we go. It's a little front view. These little things. There we go. Like I say, this thing, for as old as it is, it's held up pretty well. I think style-wise, visually, I think it still looks pretty awesome. Still feels pretty solid for such an old toy. But again, I'm going to be careful with it. So anyway, that's my complete, all decals applied with extra bonus decals, panel lining, and a little bit of paint. Gakken Legioss or Legioss Alpha Fighter Robotech. Oh, and I have the box for this, but I'm a collector. I got a lot of boxes, and my box for this is buried under a mountain of other boxes in storage. So I was going to pull it out and decided that was going to be too much work, so I didn't. Sorry about that. Anyway, for the 5 people who will watch this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you next time.